It's the perfect start to Independence Weekend. All 5 of our weekly divisions back in action, acting as feeder series to the true headliner of the night, the Big Wheels. We've caught up with a bunch of our weekly drivers, and Kyle Ricky's with our first.
And Rob, that driver is Steven Chapman, coming off a top 5 run last week in the SK Modified feature, but it has been a roller coaster the last couple of weeks for you and your team. Your brother Tyler getting caught up in an incident on the backstretch a couple weeks ago, having to put these cars back together mid-feature. How'd it feel to run both in the top 5 a week ago?
Oh, that felt great. Just the whole year has been, like you said, a roller coaster. It feels like we're both up and then we're both down. But I guess that's part of SK Racing, so.
How tough is that on the emotions and getting the cars back together during the week and trying to keep that confidence level high where you can come back and have a good day like you guys did last week?
I think it's hard to keep the confidence up. I think we've shoved both the cars in the trailer a couple times and contemplating wanting to come back the next week. But no, we still keep fighting, and we know that there's a good finish around the corner, and which last week showed, and I don't think we've been happier than last week in a while, so.
How difficult is this SK Modified field right now?
Oh, it's next level. You know, like there's from 1st to 15th can all win a race. Everybody is just from 1st to 15th is so dang close. It's just anybody can win.
Good luck here later tonight.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Steven Chapman looking for his 2nd career win here in the SK Modifieds. It could come later this evening. Now let's go to Rob, looking for a driver that has been on a roll as of late, looking for his first win of the season.
Kyle, I find myself here in the Waddell Communications trailer with SK Modified driver Marcello Frano. Marcello, a little bit of a slow start to the season with some issues. The top 5s are starting to get strung together. Do you need a little more out of the car to find the first checkered, or do the races need to just start falling your way towards the end here?
No, I think as far as the racing goes, it's actually been falling kind of in our favor. It's just a matter of getting the thing good at the end. Past couple of weeks, we've just been tightening up way too much at the end, and that's where Michael's been beating us is at the end of these races. And I feel like, we got a car to compete in the top 3 right now. It's just a matter of getting it a little bit better to really be dominant here. The difference between 1st and 5th is it's a very small margin, so we got to figure out a way to get just that much better.
Now, the midpoint in the season is fast approaching. Points starting to come into focus. If you're up towards the front at the end of one of these things, are you looking to make a heroic move? Or are you sort of looking to maybe just walk here with a good points finish, even if it's a little bit of a safer play?
Well, everyone that I've talked to recently has been saying I'm a little bit of a cool-headed driver now. So, if the opportunity presents itself, it's still not going to change my mind on how I want to attack these races. I still want to win. So, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. If the points kind of take care of themselves after that. But for the most part, I'm still here to win. So, if the question is, am I willing to take those risks? Yes, without a doubt.
Well, good look out there, Marcello.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it there, Fro.
Marcello Frano looking to keep the streak going. Kyle Ricky's caught up with a driver sporting a brand new paint scheme and a whole lot of performance starting last week.
Well, Rob, it's 90 degrees outside, and Sammy Anderson is here with a jacket on. Explain.
Absolutely. When I saw the camera, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to bust out a jacket from the 80s. So this is my grandmother's jacket from when my Uncle John Anderson was the blue and yellow.
And a paint scheme that you made back to the racetrack, or brought back to the racetrack last week and did well. First off, why the paint scheme changed, the number changed, the car changed here about quarter way into the season?
Absolutely. So the car that we were running before, it was very bent, and we went into the season knowing that it was bent. We did all that we could to try to compensate for that because the car has significant value to us. It definitely has personal value to us, so we tried to do everything we could to keep that car up and running. It was a little sad last week to bench that car, but it was very special for us to bring back the blue and yellow, and it was my first time ever using the blue and yellow, which is my family's scheme, so it was a very special moment for our team.
Top 5 run last week from outside of the top 10 at the start. How much confidence, or talk about the confidence that you gained from that?
Absolutely. For a little bit, I was wondering, is there something wrong with me? Because we just about changed everything else. No, I'm very happy about last week. My entire team is, and I think that we're going to have a good run tonight, hopefully, and moving forward.
Goals tonight after a week to think about last week.
What'd you say?
Goals tonight after yet a week to think about, what you learned a week ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep the wheels on it and try to get better than we were last week.
That's all you can ask for. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That's Sammy Anderson, top 5 effort a week ago here in the SK Light Modifieds, looking for perhaps that first win here later tonight. Now to the other side of the pits, and Rob, who is with Adam Gray.
Kyle, I caught up with driver of the 97 late model, Adam Gray. Adam, the end of last year, firing off on all cylinders. Not quite had the speed yet this year that a lot of people were thinking you were going to have right off the rip. Walk me through some of the struggles you guys have had so far in the first part of the season.
The kind of the struggle is just we built a new car and I got to get used to it and it's got to get used to me. We got to figure out what it needs. You know, it's completely different. The other car, you'd give an adjustment and make a little change. This car here, you do the same adjustment, it does a big change. You know, it's newer technology, a lot more responsive, and you know, we're writing a notebook and it shows the last 3 weeks we've been pretty darn good with it.
As you said, last few weeks, it's definitely starting to come to you. If you had to put a percentage on it, how close would you say this car is to where you want to be, and what are your hopes for as the season continues?
You know, it's funny because like we were talking as a crew, and I feel we're like 80%. You know, you're never going to get 100% here just because the track changes so much, times a day. But we're like 80%, and if we can get a little bit more, I think we'll be golden.
Good luck out there, Adam.
Thank you very much.
Adam Gray looking to keep building on a season that gets better and better. Now Kyle's with a former champion as well, this time in the limited late models.
And Rob, from one late model driver looking for his first win of the year to a limited late model driver in Jeremy Lavoie looking for that first checkered flag. It's been tough out there this season for you and this 6 team. How would you kind of summarize your first 6 races?
Yeah, really competitive division, that's for sure. But we've tried to make a few changes to the car to kind of be different than everybody else. And we're still working on fixing that and getting the speed that we need in this car. But we're pretty optimistic. We usually run pretty good in the hot months. So come July, I think last year was like middle of June I got my first win. So yeah, we're going to be optimistic. And like I said, we made a few more changes tonight, try to dial her in. And we're going to try to go out there. I think we're starting about 5th place in the field. So finally an inside starting position. I got stuck on the outside all last week, and that really hurt. So, but yeah, we're trying to get a little more speed out of the car, and I think we got a good handle on it tonight.
As an announcer now, it's in the middle of July. We start looking about points about this time of year. As a 3-time champion, when do you start focusing on points, or does that even concern you at this stage of the season here in the first week of July?
Yeah, I started looking at points, a couple weeks ago, and it was really tight. You had a big mix-up when Matt Clement finished in the infield that really put a huge swing on points. So I think I'm sitting about 7th or 8th right now, and hey, it's still only halfway through the season. So yeah, anything can happen. I unfortunately watched a race from the infield, so anything can happen on any night, and we're just going to try to give it our all from here on out.
Only 30 points back in the standings, but you can earn 50 in a night. Jeremy, best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thank you very much.
Jeremy Lavoie looking for that first limited late model win here later this evening. Now let's go back to the street stock pits and hear from a driver that picked up his very first a week ago.
Kyle, I'm here with one of last week's first-time winners, PJ Evans. PJ, not many starts here at Stafford. Got a lot of experience over at Waterford. What confidence does it bring to this team to be able to only rip off a few starts, immediately have your first win?
Definitely brings a ton of confidence. I mean, it was definitely unexpected. For sure, wasn't thinking we were going to put it to the front and keep up with the top guys here. I mean, they're pretty tough, so it was definitely a big win for us.
Did you guys make any changes to the setup to have that kind of speed? I mean, did you learn anything? I know it was an extended distance race, maybe a little bit different late in the game, but did you learn anything you can put going forward to have more success this season?
Yeah, we just changed the right front spring, then a few changes in the rear. That was pretty much it from the week before. And this thing was just rolling the center good, had a lot of drive off. Also, the first couple races, I wasn't hitting the apron going into the corners, and that's definitely a big thing for this car. For any of the divisions, you got to get that apron going into turns 1 and 3. So that was definitely a huge step. Picked up like half a second from that alone. So definitely learned a lot from last week, and hopefully we can put it all together and make it up for another good finish this week.
Now, one of, if not the biggest street stock divisions in the region. Walk me through what it's like out there battling through all those guys. It looks like it gets pretty full contact out there sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I had a blast last week. It was such a good drive for us going from 10th and then just picked up all those spots on the first lap on the top. It was definitely so much fun. I mean, so many good competitors like Brandon Boren, Travis Downey, all those guys up front. They raced me good, hard and clean, and I respected it. So it was definitely a lot of fun. I had a blast.
Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
PJ Evans going for his second win just a week after his first, and it's time to go weekly racing. We have a lot on tap tonight with Thursday Night Thunder, and Kyle Rickey and Ben Dodge are on the call for it all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome each and every one of you for a special night of racing, the Great Rentals Kids Night here at the Speedway. But in order for us to get things fired up and underway, as you can see, Mother Nature is not cooperating so far, but hopefully this will pass rather quickly. So at this particular time, we ask those of you in the grandstand area that you can take shelter out of the grandstand area. We want everybody nice and safe. And as we said, this should pass pretty soon. And when it does, we will get things fired back up and continue with this evening's program, Kyle. And as we said before, we can see it's moving rather quickly.
And it always comes at race time.
Yes,
the last
it does.
couple times that we've had weather here at the Speedway, we get through practice, get the first couple of heats gridded and ready to go, and now there may be a cell that could hit us here in the next couple of moments. So we ask that you please clear the grandstands at this time, just in case it does come over us here at the racetrack. A lot to talk about here tonight here at the Speedway as we get set to go. 5 divisions plus kids night.
Yes.
The big wheel races are always exciting, but we are in a holding pattern here for the next couple of moments. And as you can see, that cell beginning to get a little bit closer to the grandstand. So let's, at this time, please clear the grandstands and everyone can stay safe and come back for what will probably be, from what we're hearing, a feature program only later this evening featuring the big wheels.
Sure will be. And of course, as we said before, we will let you know the minute we have an update, and we're looking forward to moving this program along, a very efficient program. And as we said before, this pattern is moving very, very quickly. So please, in order to keep you safe and everybody with you safe, please head out of the grandstand at this time. This is Great Rentals Kids Night here at the Stafford Speedway.
Again, in a holding pattern, but we're going to go back about, what, 20, I'm trying to do the math here, 23 years ago to an event that took place on Independence Weekend in 2002 here at the racetrack for those watching at home on Flo, and for those that will hopefully return to the grandstands here shortly once this weather passes. So a bit of a throwback race to pass the time here as we get set to go feature racing here later on tonight. And once this weather passes, again, no heavy rain so far here at the Speedway, but Pat's had some sprinkles here in the last couple minutes.
Certainly has. And those of you in the paddock area here as well, make sure those of you that have pop-up tents and things of that nature and type, make sure that they are secured properly, because we might get a little wind with this as this front moves quickly through the area. We'll be back with more of the Great Rentals Kids Night program once Mother Nature passes with positive good weather. We'll be back and racing here at Stafford.
Include CarQuest Auto Parts, Comfort Systems USA, Hartford, and New England Racing Fuel, Sunoco brand. Into the booth now to bring us all the action from this race, the last chance event for these competitors. It's Matt Buckler and Ben Dodge.
Well, thank you very much, Raleigh. This is the big one, a final opportunity to make the transfer into the main event. The Coors Light 21 means 21 event. It originated as Margaroot wanted to give competitors the opportunity to get seat time. That means the opportunity to race in competition, learn how to pass, and learn how to win. So let's get right down to the business at hand. From the 11th starting spot, it is car number 24. From New Haven, Connecticut, driving the Earth Technology Special, it's a Chevrolet Cavalier for Kenny Horton.
Located in 10th place in car number 48 from Brookfield, Connecticut, in a Seaman Mechanical Services Cavalier, Bob Parker Jr.
9th starting spot, it's the Big Cat sponsored race car number 45 out of East Hartland, Connecticut, the Wells Eurobody Special for Jimmy Larson.
Our next driver comes from Plainville, Connecticut, driving car number 41, the Gronowski Racing Cavalier, driven tonight by Chris Gronowski.
4 rows back to the inside, position number 7, the Drown Racing Enterprises number 14 for Bobby Drown out of Milldale, Connecticut.
The 6th starting position belongs to car number 21 from Suffield, Connecticut. He's driving the Paganelli Construction Corporation Carroll Travel Cavalier. It's Gary Paganelli.
This man's in a dogfight battle in the Reliable Racing Rookie Honors here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. From the 5th starting spot, driving the Custom Pallets number 43 from Brookfield, Mass., it is Adam Norton.
We check out the number 4 starting position and find car number 6. From Manchester, Connecticut, the Gene Langen Volkswagen Cavalier, driven by Chris Acella.
Third starting spot, car number 57, the Downey Racing Enterprises machine from Canton, Connecticut for Emil Downey II.
Perched on the outside of row number 1 from Canton, Connecticut in the Kart Tracks Cavalier, car number 96 for Kurt Brainerd.
Position number 1, it's a purple-bodied Chevrolet Cavalier, the Tony's Auto Body machine from Revere, Massachusetts for Kurt Zervis. The stage is set, the field is ready, and the gentleman that will be covering the action down in turn number 3 is my good buddy, Kyle Rickey.
All right, thank you very much, Ben Dodge. And once again, good evening, everybody. Located here in turn number 3, about 30 feet up above the McDonald's drive-through billboard here at this end of the speedway as the cars bypass me in this position. The temperature from earlier this afternoon when they first got on the speedway during practice has gone down about 10 degrees. Will that have an effect on these automobiles? It's the last opportunity for these drivers to make it into the feature event. We'll have all the action at this end of the speedway, down the backstretch and through turns 3 and 4.
From the starter stand, Tony Lucky with the white flag in hand, indicating that next time we should be prepared and go racing. This, of course, is 21 laps of flat-out racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
And the name of the game is to finish among the top 2. There's 2 invitations left for the big dance, and there's 11 drivers out there who want their names on one of those invites.
You know, tonight we've got a lot of VIP folks joining us from the Haynes Construction Organization. We talked with those good folks earlier. They explained that they came to the Stafford Motor Speedway. They were not big fans at that point. They saw a gentleman by the name of Todd Zegedy come from the back of the pack to win the Coors Light 21 Means 21 event, then go on to win the feature event. They were so impressed on that night that they decided to get involved in racing. They are the sponsors of the Featherlight Modified Series number 50, the Haynes construction car that Todd Zegedy just won at Richmond International Raceway. Stay tuned. Another one of those stories is about to unfold as we're about ready to go to green map. Lights are off on the Dillon Mustang GT convertible. Picture perfect night for auto racing. Huge crowd in attendance as this is the first feature event of the night. A mini feature, we'll call it. The Coors Light 21 Means 21 is about to go green off turn 4.
And it's Kurt Brainerd exploding on the outside, trying to get the early advantage over Kurt Zervis. And look at Brainerd. He's been snake bit early in 2002, but he's had a very impressive opening lap.
He's out front here in turn number 3 for the first time with Zervis tucking in the line behind Brainerd, and then it's Emil Downey, top 3.
Off the turn, literally Brainerd had the car in a 4-wheel drift that time. He was able to gather it back and hold on to the number 1 spot. Zervis has the best seat in the house to watch, but he's a contender off turn 2.
Zervis dives down to the inside on the back straightaway, but has to fall back in a line behind Kurt Brainerd, who had the better momentum in the outside lane. Brainerd riding right now an entire groove higher than Zervis off turn 4.
And we've seen in the qualifying, that's a tough way to get around tonight, up in that outer groove, but Brainerd seems to be handling it. Brainerd, Zervis in second, and Emil Downey hanging on to third, Chris Acella in fourth.
Zervis up alongside, down the back straightaway, but again, Brainerd has the quicker car on the entrance to the corner. Zervis has the quicker car at the exit of the corner, side by side, down to the stripe.
Brainerd has a problem coming off turn number 4, but Zervis has a car that sticks like glue to the inside lane. He touches the white stripe to the bottom of the racetrack. We've got a race off turn 2.
Side by side, Nerf bar to Nerf bar, down the back straightaway with Brainerd in the outside lane, Zervis on the inside lane, and Emil Downey looking on in third, Chris Acella, they're fourth, and all single file behind the lead duo.
Gary Paganelli currently riding in fifth, and he makes contact with Chris Gronowski. So Gronowski winds up in the dirt, and Paganelli winds up with a damaged race car as those two cars, Ben, came together right on the front straightaway.
They sure did, and there's another battle going on. Trouble now, the leader, car number 99, Zervis, gets crossed up all by himself. We're under yellow. That yellow could save the number 99 from moving out of a transfer spot.
Instead of a yellow flag, that could be a life preserver for the driver of car number 99, Kurt Zervis.
Well, the Gronowski Racing number 41 out of Plainville, Connecticut, comes to rest to the inside of the racetrack.
And for those watching Flow,
among the top 7
we break in here with some breaking news. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has set in over the racetrack. And with that, we are going to, unfortunately, Ben, postpone tonight's race program, or I guess cancel tonight's race program, as Mother Nature has hit us here in a big way in the last couple minutes.
Certainly has, and of course you can follow the information on the web, which will keep you up to date on up-and-coming events here at the Speedway. be safe. Have a great holiday. And as we said, the good news following this front that could be lasting as late as 10 o'clock this evening is simply the fact that tomorrow the weather's going to be perfect for America's birthday. So, Kyle, we didn't get off to a good start. However, we did see some great practice, a sneak peek of what's in store just around the corner when next week's race program rolls out here at the Speedway.
Stay up to date with all of our socials at StaffordSpeedway.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the latest news regarding the action here next week at the Speedway, part of a busy month of July here at Stafford. So again, a big thanks to everybody for coming out. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you down the road next week here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and enjoy that 4th of July holiday weekend.
When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer, sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent